Hello beloved souls, thank you for tuning into the Spiritual Podcasts channel. This channel is all about good vibes, positive energy, and meaningful conversations. To keep this space welcoming for everyone, we kindly ask that comments stay respectful, kind, and in the spirit of the content shared here. We reserve the right to delete any comments that don't align with this intention. No hard feelings, just protecting the vibe. Thanks for being here and spreading the light. Please be cautious of anyone claiming to represent Spiritual Podcast and asking you for money, donations, or personal information. We will never ask you for money through comments, messages, or DMs. All official updates and content come only from this channel. If you see suspicious activity, please report it immediately. Stay safe and thank you for being part of our community. If you enjoy the video and its content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Please be kind to other viewers of the channel. The video is about to start.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your most intriguing sources and really unpack the wisdom within, giving you a clear path through some complex ideas. Today we're diving into some pretty expansive material, actually. It comes from a unique source, a YouTube channel called GFL Station. It features a channel transmission from, well, what are identified as the Pleiadians, delivered through a voice known as Valier. Now, for those maybe new to channeled material, it's presented as, direct guidance from non-physical entities, offering a very specific perspective on global events, human evolution, that sort of thing. Our mission here isn't really to validate or refute this perspective, fascinating as it is, but more to impartially unpack the ideas, the wisdom within this message from beyond the veil, as the source itself describes it. It speaks to a series of collective activations that apparently unfolded after a powerful lunar eclipse, and it suggests that a significant new timeline jump is in the process of anchoring, which sounds pretty major.
Oh, absolutely. The sheer breadth and honestly, the profound optimism of this message, it immediately grabs your attention, doesn't it? It positions itself as direct guidance from these Pleiadian emissaries who claim to have long observed your journey and evolution, and their aim, they say, is to share a current of light encoded in our communication, a vibration of remembrance and healing. So our goal today is really to meticulously explore what this great awakening entails, according to them, how it's asking each of us, you to transform, and what that ultimate vision for a new Earth truly looks like, all from this specific perspective. It's quite a complete worldview we'll be dissecting.
Okay, so let's start by trying to understand who these beloved ones, beloved family of Earth are, the ones greeting us with profound love and honor. Valier, the channel, is essentially acting as, well, a conduit, right? Translating these Pleiadian communications into a format we can kind of grasp. And this Pleiadian collective, they're described as emissaries watching over your world. Some apparently stationed in etheric light ships in your skies, others observing from higher realms. It's not just distant observation, though. The message really emphasizes they are here now, enveloping you in a field of unconditional love, reaching out across dimensions, basically, to share their guidance. We really highlight having long observed your journey in evolution and seem genuinely delighted by this chance to communicate directly. Almost like, long-lost family reconnecting, as you said.
Exactly. And a key takeaway there, I think, points to that immediate establishment of a deep, almost familial connection. They don't frame us as strangers, but as beloved family, fellow travelers in consciousness. That really highlights a sense of, shared purpose and kinship across these cosmic distances. The communication itself is framed as a celebration of the deep bond between our peoples. And that's crucial because it sets a tone of loving support, not judgment or intervention.
Right, support, not control.
Precisely. They explicitly state they are quietly supporting and lovingly guiding according to divine law, which implies a kind of non-interference directive regarding our free will, while still offering pretty profound assistance. Something else that's striking is their encouragement to open your heart and feel beyond the words.
Yeah. What does that mean, practically?
Well, it suggests the transmission isn't just about the literal information. It also carries a deeper vibrational understanding, this current of light encoded in our communication, a vibration of remembrance and healing. It's about letting that subtle energy wash over you, maybe awakening and knowing they believe already lives within your sacred heart, implying a kind of spiritual resonance beyond just, thinking about it. It's a call to feel the message.
Okay, feel the message. Got it. So they talk about this great awakening and a pivotal evolutionary leap. What exactly are they signaling here? Is it like one big bang event or more of a gradual thing unfolding?
Well, the source clearly states this now is the time of the Great Awakening on planet Earth.
This now.
Sure.
Pretty direct.
Very. But it's definitely not presented as a singular, isolated event. The Pleiadians describe it more as a culmination, a new dawning that has been foretold through the ages.
Yeah.
You can imagine it more like a cosmic crescendo that's been building, and now it's reaching its peak. And crucial to this, as you mentioned, is this idea of a new timeline jump anchoring.
Yeah, that phrase jumped out, timeline jump.
When they talk about a timeline jump, it sounds like they're not referring to us literally leaping into a parallel universe, maybe, but more a profound shift in our collective probability field. Think of it maybe as humanity collectively choosing a higher vibrational trajectory, moving away from paths marked by fear and separation, and actively manifesting a future anchored more in unity and love.
So like choosing a different future track.
Kind of, yeah. It's not just a spiritual shift. It's presented as a fundamental recalibration of our collective reality, where the very fabric of our shared experience starts to reflect these higher frequencies. They see us entering this pivotal evolutionary leap, calling this era the birth of a new Earth and a rebirth of humanity into higher consciousness. And the message emphasizes that the Pleiadians and numerous other enlightened beings have gathered their focus upon your world because of this huge shift, because the potential impact is seen as just immense.
A timeline jump.
Yeah.
It still sounds pretty dramatic. Can you maybe break down what that implies for us on a more practical level? How does it relate to these waves of luminous energy they mentioned flowing into the planet?
That's a great clarifying question, yeah, because timeline jump can sound a bit out there. From this perspective, it seems less about moving to a totally separate reality and more about our collective consciousness shifting towards a higher, more benevolent version of our current reality. It's about anchoring a future timeline where our highest potentials, as they see them, are realized. And to help this along, they say these waves of luminous energy are flowing into your planet, infusing every living cell on the Earth herself with higher frequencies. And these aren't just random bursts. They're described as cosmic energy waves originating from the heart of the galaxy and beyond, carrying specific encodements of transformation that catalyze the awakening of dormant potentials.
Dormant potentials, so things already inside us.
That's the idea. A critical question that comes up is, what exactly are these dormant potentials they're talking about? The source implies their inherent capabilities and awarenesses within us, qualities like, heightened intuition, empathy, conscious co-creation, maybe even spiritual abilities, things that have been lying fallow, just waiting for these specific cosmic signals to activate them.
Like flipping a switch.
Exactly. It suggests a pre-programmed readiness within humanity for this very moment, like an internal switch waiting for the right external signal. We're not just receiving energy, we're being activated, according to this source.
Okay, activated. Yeah. So, if these cosmic waves are transforming everything, what's our actual role in this? Are we just passengers on this energy wave, or is there more to it? Because the Pleiadians say, you as human beings stand at the center of this grand process. They describe a profound metamorphosis, where old paradigms built on fear, separation, and limitation are crumbling, making way for a reality anchored in love, unity, and creative freedom. That sounds pretty active to me.
Indeed. Our presence here, according to this message, is absolutely no accident. They assert that each soul present on Earth chose to be part of this sweeping change, agreeing to contribute your unique energy and gifts.
Wow. That reframes things quite a bit.
Doesn't it? It fundamentally redefines our understanding of our own existence, our purpose, moving us from passive participants to active, deliberate contributors to this planetary shift. They even claim we carry within your very DNA the memory and knowing of how to navigate the shift, that we came equipped with the wisdom needed to help birth a new reality.
So the instruction manual's inside us.
That's the implication. It isn't about being given instructions from outside, but awakening to an internal blueprint, a deep cellular knowing of how to facilitate this transformation. It culminates in that really powerful statement. You are the ones you've been waiting for.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a radical call to self-empowerment. While they and others in the light realms are here to support this, to broadcast loving frequencies and hold open the gates to higher awareness, they make it clear the active role is yours. You each hold the key to the collective transformation through your own personal awakening. It puts the onus, and crucially the power, squarely on individual human choice and inner work. We're not waiting for a savior. We are the agents of change in this view.
Right. agents of change. Okay, moving into the next section, this deep dive reveals this really interconnected vision, a mutual birthing taking place. The Earth, who they call Gaia, is birthing a new version of herself, and at the same time, we are birthing a new version of yourselves. It's a collaborative dance, they say, with planetary consciousness. Our evolution is just inextricably linked to the planets. The source specifies that the Earth, as a living, sentient being, is evolving to a higher vibration and calls her human children to evolve with her. That's an incredibly holistic view.
It really is. And what's truly striking here is that analogy they use of labor pains.
Right, the labor pain.
Yeah. It helps us interpret the often intense, sometimes chaotic global events. We're seeing environmental shifts, social unrest, not as signs of doom perhaps, but as part of this larger necessary process of birth. Just like a physical birth can be arduous but leads to new life, these surges of energy in your collective experience and changes in Earth's patterns are seen as reflections of Gaia's own evolutionary process.
Okay, so the planet's changes mirror our own internal ones.
That's exactly how they frame it. What happens on the macro, the planetary level, is mirrored on the micro, within us. Likewise, they explain that within us, long dormant aspects of your spiritual being are stirring to life, shaking off the slumber of forgetfulness. This means remembering more of who you truly are beyond the physical stories and limitations you've maybe identified with for so long.
Shaking off the slumber, I like that.
Yeah, and the call is to actively engage in this process, to say yes to your soul's calling. By doing that, you're supporting not only your personal evolution, but also the collective ascension of humanity in the Earth. It's a powerful affirmation that we are co-creating the new Earth hand in hand with the divine forces that uphold life. Emphasizing our active partnership in this grand transformation, we're not just passengers, we're kind of the midwives of this new reality.
Midwives of a new reality. Wow. Okay, so it's not chaos just for chaos' sake, but a necessary shedding. Like the Earth herself is going through a massive growth spurt. No wonder some days feel like pure exhaustion. And a big part of this process, they say, involves ending the illusion of separation. Identifying the idea that you are cut off from the divine, from each other, from nature, from your own power, as the grand illusion that has defined the third dimensional experience. This means letting go of these old, limiting beliefs.
Precisely. And they encourage us not to resist these labor pains, but to sort of lean into them, to understand that within us, long dormant aspects of your spiritual being are stirring to life. It's about remembering who we really are beyond the masks and stories. A grand unlearning, if you will.
A grand unlearning.
Which then leads us directly into a critical question. What are these specific illusions that have held us captive in what they call the third dimensional experience?
Yeah, what do they mean by third dimensional?
Well, when they talk about the third dimension, they seem to be referring to our current perceived reality, characterized by physical density, linear time, and a strong sense of individuality and separation. The idea of it being a holographic illusion isn't to say it's not real exactly, but maybe that it's a precisely structured experience, almost like a very sophisticated virtual reality designed for specific kinds of lessons.
Okay, like a learning environment.
Kind of. And the source details these illusions as the voices that whisper that you are small, unworthy, alone, and powerless. They also include the belief that the material world is all that exists, or that humanity is isolated in a barren cosmos devoid of other life or love. These falsehoods, they explain, have kept many in doubt and despair for so long.
Self-familiar.
Doesn't it? But the new energies entering now act like a piercing beam of light in a dark room, revealing that those limiting beliefs were only shadows. So we're invited to question every belief that limits you or causes you pain, and to renounce the hold of fear.
Renounce the hold of fear.
Yeah. And the core message is that at the core of each fear-based pattern lies the absence of love. So by consciously infusing those places within you with compassion and higher understanding, the illusions start to melt away, allowing us to rise into a fourth and fifth dimensional consciousness where love, interconnection, and possibility reign.
Okay, fourth and fifth dimensional consciousness. That still sounds quite abstract. Can you give us a more concrete sense of what that actually means for like our daily experience? How would you feel or perceive reality differently?
That's a crucial point, yeah, because these terms can feel pretty esoteric. What the Pleiadians seem to suggest is that this isn't necessarily about physically moving somewhere else, but a fundamental shift in our perceptual reality. Imagine moving from primarily identifying with your physical body and individual ego, which is kind of characteristic of the third dimension, to an expanded awareness where empathy, intuition, and a profound sense of interconnectedness with all life become more dominant.
So feeling more connected.
Exactly. In a fourth-dimensional consciousness, you might experience time differently, maybe more fluidly, a heightened emotional sensitivity perhaps, and a stronger sense of being part of a larger whole. Fifth-dimensional consciousness, as they describe it, takes this even further. Your experience of reality becomes less linear, more fluid, and deeply anchored in unconditional love, unity, creative freedom. Problems that once seemed insurmountable might start to dissolve as you perceive solutions from a more expansive, unified perspective. It's about feeling less isolated, less fearful, and just more connected to everything around you, including what they call other life and love in the cosmos. It's a shift from maybe a scarcity mindset to one of boundless possibility, simply by changing your lens of perception.
Changing the lens. Okay, that makes it a bit clearer. Moving on, this deep dive delves into a really critical internal shift. It emphasizes that for eons, humans have been conditioned to live in a state of self-judgment and unworthiness. The Pleiadians observe how harshly you often treat yourselves and your thoughts and feelings, noting that as long as you condemn or reject any part of yourself, you remain divided within. And this inner division, they say, then, reflects outwardly as conflict in your world. That's a direct link between our inner state and outer reality. Powerful idea.
It really makes you think about that old saying, as within, so without, doesn't it? If we connect this to the bigger picture, healing that rift of separation we talked about earlier has to fundamentally begin inside each individual. The core guidance here seems to be shift from self-condemnation to self-acceptance, from self-judgment to self-love. They urge us to embrace yourselves fully and compassionately as the beautifully imperfect beings that you are.
Beautifully imperfect. I like that phrase.
Me too. They introduce this concept of perfectly imperfect, meaning in your humanness, with all your flaws and quirks, you are exactly as you need to be for your soul's expansion. This is a huge reframing, right? We are not here to perform some flawless ideal of holiness, but to experience, to learn, and to expand.
So mistakes are part of the plan.
Essentially, yes. This perspective validates our whole human journey, emphasizing that growth inherently implies learning, making mistakes, and integrating those lessons with self-compassion. This shift from inner criticism to inner compassion is fundamental in moving into the higher vibrational existence of the new Earth. It's about cultivating an inner unity that then radiates outward, allowing us to connect with others without judgment because we've first healed that division within ourselves. It sounds foundational to everything else they talk about.
Absolutely foundational. And as we cultivate this inner acceptance, this compassion, the message suggests a door opens. A door to a profound homecoming with your spiritual nature. The source talks about a higher self, which they describe as an expanded, wise aspect of you that resides in the higher dimensions and remains continually in communion with the source of all. In the old paradigm, they say, many felt disconnected from this, maybe viewed it as distant, only accessible to saints or mystics, But now, they say, that's changing dramatically.
And this is a really reassuring point, I think, because it grounds the concept of a higher self. It's not something external or unreachable, but an inherent part of who we are. What's truly profound here is the idea that your divine self has never left you.
Never left you.
Yeah. It's described as the quiet voice of intuition, the spark of inspiration, and the sense of conscience that has always guided you. This makes that abstract idea of a higher self much more relatable, connects it directly to our everyday inner experience, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Now they say, the veil between your human self and your higher self is thinning, offering the opportunity to reconnect and consciously unite with that larger part of your being. This process is likened to self-realization, resurrection, or ascension, where you become an embodied divinity walking the earth as an aware creator, a living bridge between heaven and earth.
Embodied divinity. What does that actually mean in practice?
Good question. It's probably not about becoming a deity in the traditional sense, right? But more about becoming that living bridge between the spiritual and the physical. Imagine yourself as an aware creator, fully conscious of your connection to the source, bringing that higher wisdom and love directly into your everyday actions, your choices here on Earth. It's about bringing heaven, that higher dimension of consciousness, into your earthly experience, making your human life a direct expression of your divine self. That's how I interpret it, anyway.
A living bridge. That's a powerful image. But such a profound transformation, surely it comes with some intense internal and external shifts. How would you recognize these changes? Are there signs this reconnection is happening?
Oh, absolutely. The message assures us we have all the support you need to accomplish this with these energies streaming onto the planet now. specifically encoded to activate this reconnection within you. So the universe is actively helping, according to them.
Okay.
And yes, there are many signs of this adjustment they describe, which can sometimes feel quite intense, apparently. These might include intense inner work, maybe deep self-reflection, journaling, emotional releases where old stuff suddenly surfaces to be cleared, old memories resurfacing you thought were long gone, or even physical sensations like waves of sudden sensitivity or fatigue. You might also experience vivid dreams with clear symbolic messages, maybe, and an increase in synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that feel like the universe winking at you.
Right, the synchronicities, yeah.
This whole transformation is compared to a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, dissolving the old form, emerging anew, guided by some deep natural intelligence. Just as a caterpillar doesn't fight its chrysalis, we're kind of encouraged to surrender to this natural evolutionary unfolding, trusting the process even when it feels challenging or confusing.
Trust the butterfly process. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this deep dive also reveals an incredible physical dimension to this awakening, beyond just emotions and consciousness. The influx of this higher dimensional light is apparently triggering changes in your physical and subtle bodies. And the source mentions that humans currently utilize only a small portion of their full DNA potential, with much of it being labeled junk by our scientists. This suggests a hidden, vast potential right there in our biology.
Yeah, this idea that our DNA isn't just a biological instruction manual, but a magnificent library of light with dormant sections. It's truly revolutionary, isn't it? It challenges that conventional scientific view that much of our DNA is junk, just non-coding regions with no known function. Instead, it posits that it's merely awaiting the right activation codes.
Activation codes from these cosmic waves.
That's the idea. From the Pleiadian perspective, nothing in your DNA is junk. It is simply dormant code awaiting the proper signals to awaken. And the waves of cosmic and solar energy bathing your planet now carry those activating signals. Think of it like a highly sophisticated computer, maybe preloaded with incredible software, but we've only ever been running the most basic programs. These new energies are like installing the upgrades, allowing us to access advanced functionalities.
Okay, so what kind of changes might you notice as these junk sequences supposedly bloom into activity?
Well, the Pleiadians describe it as subtle shifts initially. Things like tingling sensations during meditation, maybe unexpected surges of heat or vibration in the body, or emotions surfacing rapidly and then just clearing. But beyond that, they suggest a reawakening of intuitive, even psychic sensitivities. Perhaps a faint echo of telepathy, a flash of clairvoyance, a natural knowing of how to facilitate healing, or just deep empathy for all living things. These aren't presented as new powers being granted, but more like ancient gifts being remembered and reactivated, abilities that are part of the blueprint of the fully awakened human, a human with, a clear mind, an open heart, and the innate capacity to consciously co-create their reality in harmony with a higher divine will. It's a profound recalibration of our very biological and energetic operating system, according to this source.
So it's not just a passive process then, just receiving these cosmic signals. It sounds like our conscious choices play a role in activating this dormant code. How do our daily decisions or internal shifts influence this DNA activation?
That's precisely it. They really emphasize this isn't just an external download. Our conscious engagement is vital. The choices you make every time you choose love over fear, every time you heal an old wound or speak a truth that was buried, these actions send a powerful signal to your cells, instructing them to unlock further.
Like pressing enter on the internal library.
Exactly like that. By actively choosing higher vibrational responses, by engaging in self-healing and authentic expression, you are consciously participating in your own genetic and energetic evolution. This means these so-called junk sequences begin to bloom into activity, leading to a state where you feel ever more connected to each other telepathically, to nature empathically, and to us and other light beings through clear knowing. It's presented as truly the union of spirit and matter in action, where our internal states and conscious decisions directly impact our physical and energetic makeup, expanding our capacities in ways we're only just beginning to comprehend. It's a powerful feedback loop, they describe.
A feedback loop. Interesting. Okay, let's shift to the next section. The Pleiadians offer a powerful interpretation of the current global state. They say, much of what you witness in your world today, the turmoil, division, and even the revelations of dishonesty or misuse of power, is directly related to the increasing light on the planet. They suggest that when light shines, it reveals what was hidden in darkness, bringing long-suppressed issues right to the surface. It's certainly an interesting way to look at all the upheaval we see.
It really is, and this interpretation actually offers a potentially hopeful lens through which to view these unsettling global events, rather than just succumbing to despair, right? It reframes what looks like chaos as necessary purging of shadows so that true healing may occur, likening it to toxins coming out of the body during a cleanse.
A planetary cleanse.
Kind of. It suggests these difficult revelations and conflicts aren't necessarily signs of things getting worse, but rather of a deep systemic cleansing taking place. Now, the source does acknowledge that forces, some human, some not, that benefited from keeping humanity in a suppressed state of awareness exist. But it critically emphasizes this is not meant to stoke fear or an us versus them mentality.
Right, not about creating more division.
Exactly. Instead, it's presented as an encouragement for us to step fully into your sovereignty as the era of covert manipulation is drawing to a close. This message is about personal empowerment, not getting caught up in some external battle. It states that the most effective way to nullify any forces of oppression is not through hatred or violence, but through the steadfast refusal to live in fear and the commitment to live in truth and love.
Refusing to live in fear.
Yeah. And the crucial insight here is that we are not passive victims of reality. You are co-creators of it. Our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are constantly influencing the collective field of consciousness. This is about empowering yourself to shape your experiences intentionally. Shifting from that disempowering question, why is this happening to me, to maybe, what is this showing me and how can I transform it? This reclaims our innate power in shaping our shared reality, just by shifting our internal posture from victimhood to active creation. That's the core idea.
From victim to creator. Got it. So if we are indeed co-creators, and if so much is being revealed and purged, it sounds like we need immense support to navigate all this. And the deep dive does provide immense reassurance here. You are far from alone. Even if you physically walk a solitary path energetically, you are part of an immense community of light that spans both this world and the subtle realms beyond. This suggests a constant, unseen support system is available.
This is a truly comforting aspect of the message, isn't it? It details a vast orchestration of benevolent support. It describes an incredible lineup of helpers, including your fellow star families, such as the Sirians, Arcturans, and Andromedans, which, for those maybe unfamiliar, are often spoken of in channeled literature as ancient, highly evolved beings with a deep connection to Earth and humanity.
Okay.
It also includes the angelic and archangelic collectives, ascended masters from your spiritual lineages, figures like Buddha, Jesus, other enlightened teachers perhaps, and the elemental and Divik consciousness of Earth's own kingdom of life.
Divik consciousness? What's that?
When they mention Divikic consciousness, they seem to be referring to the consciousness of nature itself, the spirits of plants, elements, the unseen energies that animate the natural world, you could say. Their collective role, according to the source, is to bolster you, to clear some of the energetic fog where possible, and to provide guidance and reassurance so that we do not lose heart amidst all the changes. They're described as being like family cheering you on from just across the finish line of a marathon, seeing how close you are to a grand victory of consciousness.
That's a nice image.
Isn't it? And the invitation is to tap into this network of light consciously, just by acknowledging it, maybe asking for connection and trusting what you feel or sense, which might manifest as a gentle warmth, a tingling, or a subtle peace. They promise that truly the love surrounding Earth at this time is magnificent, and that the more we consciously work with these support teams, the more tangibly we might perceive their presence and assistance in our lives. It's like an open invitation to a larger family.
An open invitation. Okay, that's a beautiful image, being cheered on by an invisible cosmic team. And speaking of practical tools, this deep dive offers a pretty profound one. Living from the heart center. The heart is described as far more than a physical organ, but an energy vortex, a portal to your higher self, and a transmitter of love's intelligent power. It's the meeting point, they say, of our human and divine natures.
Exactly. The heart is where those two aspects of our being, the earthly and the divine, really meet, according to this view. When you center your awareness here, even by simply feeling the warmth or pulse in your chest as you breathe, you apparently attune to a wiser, calmer perspective. This practice helps to quiet the often chaotic chatter of the mind and encourages empathy, compassion, and intuitive insight, allowing the mind to become a servant to the guidance of the heart.
The mind serving the heart. Interesting twist.
It is. They even offer a simple exercise, just placing your hand on your chest, breathing consciously, and affirming, I am. This apparently helps shift you out of fear-based reactivity into love-based response, cultivating a more thoughtful, compassionate way of engaging with the world. What's particularly fascinating here is how this resonates with some scientific findings, like from the Heart Math Institute, which studies the heart's powerful electromagnetic field.
Right, I've heard of that.
Yeah. This field, they explain, can actually entrain or synchronize with the fields of others. This means one heart-coherent person, someone living from their heart center, can positively influence the energy of people nearby without a word being spoken. It's a subtle yet potentially profound effect.
Wow, okay.
And as more of us do this, it forms a collective field of heart-centered consciousness, described as a web of human hearts lit up with love and mutual understanding encircling the planet. This heart grid, they say, is the energetic foundation for new ways of living, new relationships, even new forms of technology that prioritize collective well-being. It's presented as a powerful, tangible way to contribute to this New Earth vision.
Building a heart grid. That's quite a concept. Okay, final section. This deep dive does acknowledge the daily challenges we all face during such a massive shift. It raises a very valid point. Even as you hold high ideals, you still have bills to pay, relationships to tend, a body that might get sick or tired. Spiritual awakening, they clarify, is not about escaping the human experience, but about transforming it from within. It's about integrating the sacred right into the mundane, everyday stuff.
And this is a really important practical anchor, isn't it? Because it avoids that trap of spiritual bypass, the idea that we just sort of float above our earthly concerns. So a critical question then is, how do we achieve this balance in our daily lives? The guidance seems clear. Ground your spiritual insights into everyday actions.
Grounding it.
Yeah. The source claims there is no separation between spirit and life unless you create one, suggesting that acts like washing dishes, tending to a garden, or comforting a child can be as holy an act as prayer when done with a loving consciousness. It's about bringing mindfulness and intention to every part of your day.
Makes sense.
Also vital, they stress, is joy and creativity. Things like laughter, music, dance, creative expression, time, and nature. These aren't seen as luxuries, but necessities for a balanced, high-vibration life. Joy, they say, is a vibration of tremendous power that aligns you directly with source energy and can even help shift problems.
Let's have fun.
Basically. And when feeling overwhelmed, the advice is to simplify. Come back to the present moment. Maybe by feeling the solid earth under your feet, listening to the birds outside, or performing just a small act of kindness. This approach allows you to accelerate your growth, much like a tree that grows tall and strong, not only because it reaches for the sky, but also because it sinks deep roots into the earth. It's about balancing that expansion with being firmly rooted in your human life, integrating these higher frequencies right into your physical existence.
That's a great metaphor. It's not about abandoning our human experience at all, but truly elevating it.
Yes.
And a core tenet of this message, building right on that, is the unity that underlies all things. The separation you experienced in the third dimension was a kind of holographic illusion, they say, a game that allowed for a certain kind of learning. Now, they claim, the cycle of learning through separation has run its course, signaling a shift beyond this old way of perceiving reality.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the call of this era is to return to oneness. But this doesn't erase our uniqueness, which is a common fear or misconception, right? And in fact, they say, when you know we are all one, you can finally celebrate differences without fear, recognizing them as varied, beautiful expressions of the same underlying essence.
Celebrating differences, not fearing them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The impulse to collaborate, to share, to uplift one another is described as the soul of unity stirring within you. This includes seeing yourself in the eyes of those you meet, even those you might disagree with or find challenging, acknowledging them as another facet of the divine.
That's a high bear sometimes.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
But unity consciousness from this perspective extends far beyond just humanity. It encompasses Mother Earth and all her creatures, envisioning humans living in harmony with the ecosystem. What's really fascinating here is the mention of re-emerging ancient wisdom, communicating with the spirits of the land, the wind, and the water. An urge to protect and revere the environment as a living, sentient being, not just a resource. And of course, unity consciousness includes us, your star kin, as well. With thinning barriers between worlds and gentle previews of a deeper reunion to come. Love, they say, will be the common language that unites us, dissolving fear in the recognition of one another as kin, whether they're across the street or across the galaxy.
Love is the common language. That's a profound vision, and it seems to hinge on understanding our own inherent power. This deep dive reveals a fundamental truth about that. The seed of the entire universe lies within you. This holographic spark of all that is, that's our core essence. Your I am presence, the part of you made in the image of the Creator. An inexhaustible and incorruptible part of our being, they suggest.
Which raises an incredibly important question for our understanding of divinity, doesn't it? What are the real implications of this statement that the seed of the entire universe lies within you? The source explicitly states that God dwells within each and every consciousness, not in some distant figure or institution. This radically democratizes spirituality, really. Removes the need for external intermediaries, perhaps.
Right. God within.
Yeah. When they say you are powerful creators, this is why. The very power that births stars dwells at the center of your being. The cosmic alarm clock is ringing, they say, reminding us of who we really are. The invitation is to turn inward with the question, who am I really? To peel back layers of personality and stories to find that pure presence.
Pure presence.
And this realization, they claim, makes you both humble and bold. Humble because the same divine light shines in everyone, recognizing that spark in every single being, fostering deep reverence for all life. And bold because all the power of that light is available to work through you, meaning you have immense creative capacity within you to shape your reality. This recognition of the divine seed in each other, they believe, will heal your world's conflicts at the root, because you simply wouldn't be able to truly harm or hate when you genuinely perceive the other as an extension of your own divine self. It's presented as a blueprint for global peace built on individual realization.
That's a lot to take in. It all sounds incredibly transformative, but also, frankly, maybe a bit overwhelming. The Pleiadians do seem to acknowledge that, saying the path of awakening, while ultimately joyous, can at times feel overwhelming. We are simultaneously clearing old energies, expanding into new ones, and witnessing a world in great flux around you. It's definitely a lot to navigate all at once.
It's an astute observation, and I think it's essential to acknowledge that intensity. Navigating such profound shifts is no small feat, right? Connecting this back to that bigger picture of universal support, they remind us again, you're never alone. And they strongly encourage us to reach out, whether it be to a friend, a community of like-minded souls, or directly to your unseen helpers.
Don't go it alone.
Pretty much. They emphasize that our inner light never truly goes out. It may simply be obscured by passing clouds of emotion. It's a gentle reminder that even in moments of doubt or darkness, your core essence remains radiant. The message advises patience. Progress is rarely linear, which is such a crucial understanding, I think.
Definitely not linear.
No. You might experience a breakthrough of insight one week and feel stuck the next, and this does not mean you have failed. It means you are integrating. Integration is often a quieter, less dramatic process than that initial aha moment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The simple act of resonating with this message, they say, even just listening to this, is proof of your soul's readiness and your progress. And we are urged to celebrate the victories, however small, like responding with compassion, or you might have reacted with anger before, or finding the courage to follow a dream or forgive an old hurt. These small acknowledgments reinforce the ongoing transformation, building momentum and self-belief. It's about recognizing that every conscious choice towards love is a victory.
Every step counts.
Yeah.
It's a very practical and comforting reminder. This is a journey, not a destination. Okay, as we approach the end of this deep dive, the Pleiadians paint this really powerful vision of what is possible and indeed already forming in the timelines ahead. They see a humanity that has awakened to its unity and creative power. It's a truly inspiring glimpse into the future they offer.
It truly is a breathtaking vision, and one that they don't describe as some far-off dream, but as one very real potential timeline that is already forming. What's fascinating is the detailed picture they present, a world where technology and science are married to spirituality and ethics, moving beyond purely materialistic applications to serve the highest good.
Science and spirit together.
Yeah. This translates into tangible advancements like free clean energy, advanced healing modalities that address root causes, not just symptoms, and a return to harmony with Gaia, where human endeavors actually support the planet's well-being. Societies, they envision, will reorganize around the principle of cooperation and the well-being of all, moving past these old competitive paradigms. Education will transform, nurturing each child's innate gifts and fostering creativity rather than the old one-size-fits-all approach. Arts will flourish, reflecting the awakened human spirit.
Sounds amazing.
And perhaps most exciting for those interested in these cosmic connections, Open engagement with your family from the stars will happen in a spirit of celebration and mutual respect, marking a new era of intergalactic cooperation. They emphasize this is not a utopian fantasy, but something made more solid by each time you choose understanding over judgment, each time you act with kindness or stand up for truth.
Our choices build it.
Exactly. They conclude this part by stressing that this destiny is not an inevitability that happens without your involvement, but with your involvement, it becomes inevitable. And finally, they offer perhaps the most transformative practice for manifesting this reality. Practice gratitude.
Gratitude. Always comes back to that, doesn't it?
It seems to. Gratitude, they say, aligns you immediately with abundance and the flow of grace, shifting your vibration into receptivity and positivity. It acts as a creative force that invites even more positive experiences into your life, making it the light that keeps your heart open and your vision clear. A simple yet profoundly powerful tool for manifesting this new earth as they see it.
Wow. Okay. This deep dive into the Pleiadian message channeled through Valier. It truly presents a breathtaking vision of transformation, both personal and planetary. It reminds us that we are not just observers sitting on the sidelines of a changing world, but actually active participants carrying the very blueprint of this new Earth within us, just waiting to be activated.
Indeed. Stepping back to see the larger canvas here, this perspective isn't about waiting to be saved, is it? Or for some external force to come and fix things. It's really a radical call to activate our innate power, to claim our roles as conscious co-creators of a reality anchored in love, unity, and creative freedom. Which raises, I think, an important question for you, for everyone listening, to maybe ponder long after our conversation ends. What would the world look like if every person committed to just one daily act of conscious creation, big or small, rooted in love and self-acceptance, and truly believed in its power to shape reality?
That's a powerful thought to leave with. We hope this exploration has given you some profound insights, maybe even ignited some new sparks within you, encouraging you to look inward and consider your own powerful role in this grand shift. The Pleiadians close their message by saying, "Our threads are forever interwoven with yours, and we are with you always, just a thought or a heartbeat away. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep shining your light. Until next time."
Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon. Until next time, take care and have a wonderful and blessed day.